Good afternoon, my friends. This is Paul, and today I'm going to be reviewing a little indie title known as VVVVVV. What a tongue twister. Is there any way we can abbreviate that? That sounds like a motorcycle simulator. We'll just call it V6 because it's 6 V's, and it actually makes sense in the context of the storyline because you're controlling this very basically designed character named Captain Viridian, and he has to find 5 of his crew members, which also have V's at the start of their name, so it's 6 V crew members. How cool is that? Thankfully, the game's not too story-driven, so you can basically ignore that. Anyway, the premise of V6 is really quite simple. You move left and right, and you switch gravity with the press of the A button, either moving upward or downward. The cool thing about V6 is that it's basically an open world side-scrolling adventure. So you have this humongous world to explore as you're transitioning between sections. And once you get to a colored section of the world map, where every room is named after like some kind of pop culture reference, that's when things get interesting, because then your progress is more linear and you have to try to figure out how to get from point A to point B instead of just wandering around like a free roaming game. Although it is really cool to see your map on the bottom screen gradually fill in, and then when you have a somewhat filled map, you eventually get these warping teleporters that you can say, okay, it would be more strategic to warp to here because then this passage leads here, and it's basically letting you make your own map. Now, despite that this game's graphics make it look like an Atari game, this game is really, really hard. Like, really hard. Like Zelda 2 hard. But it's not nearly as frustrating as that game because you have unlimited lives and the checkpoints are very generously placed. So usually you don't have to go very far back if you fail. And even if that's still too hard for you, the game has plenty of options in the menu to give you, I guess, sort of cheats, for lack of a better word. You can slow down the action, or you can even turn on invincibility mode for as long or as little as you want, in case there's just way too many insta-death spikes. That might be another reason for the title of the game. When you splice together all 6 V's, it does kind of look like upside-down spikes. Because even Viridian, within the game itself, he makes constant references to, ugh, more spikes. The main game, even though it took me forever to beat, when I look back on it, I realized that it's a somewhat short game, probably 15-20 hours. But if the main game isn't enough for you, there are plenty of user-made levels that you can download over the internet if you keep getting updates, and I had a mixed experience with those, but overall what made the user-made levels fun to play was the interactions Viridian would have with the terminals, and I won't spoil a word of it because I want you to get the laughs for yourself if you pick this up. So I've been told that this game is also on the PC, but I'm reviewing it from the 3DS version, which I've been told has considerable updates, including all those options I told you about, the user-made levels, and just overall more of an accessibility feature. I would say the biggest reason to pick up the 3DS port is because of the additional map on the bottom screen that ensures that you don't have to keep pausing just to keep track of where you are in the world. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. I hope you will decide to pick up this fantastic indie game and not let the brutal difficulty get in the way of an otherwise near-perfect experience. So until my next video, keep the faith, stay epic, and God bless. Bye.